Hi, my name's Steve Harding. I'm the Sales Director for the Mobile Business Group here at Pega Systems, and I'm here today with Dan Zeck, our CTO. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Steve.
So, Dan, first question. In your opinion, what distinguishes mobile enterprise apps from the hundreds of thousands of consumer apps that are in the App Store?
Yeah, there are many things that distinguish these apps. Enterprise apps need to be secured. They need to be integrated with enterprise systems. They have to be managed on users' devices, whether they're corporate provided or employee provided. And they have to be, following corporate policies and procedures. So running disconnected is also a typical mode that enterprise apps run in. Consumer apps generally don't run disconnected.
So Dan, one of my observations is that CIOs are faced with increasingly complex vendor landscape for enterprise mobility, and at the same time they're getting increased demand from their business functions for mobile. How do they manage the complexity within their organization?
Yeah, they have to think beyond the first app or the first project. I mean, they need to have a vision of where they're going with multiple apps being built. They have to think about all the constituents they need to serve, the different kinds of devices they have to build apps for, and how they're going to follow corporate standards and policies and integrate these things in a common platform. Many of these new vendors in the space are very nascent, and there's a lot of risk involved. So they need to slow down a little bit, think about what they're trying to do in a sequential manner, and think beyond the first app and think about reusability a lot more than they do now. Typically, they look at the first app and they just want to get the app out. They got to go way beyond that.
So Dan, one of the things I'm noticing is that a lot of organizations are trying to tackle mobility themselves and build these applications, complex applications themselves. Would you advocate a platform approach, and why?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not just a single app project. I mean, the platform can offer a lot of advantages. If you think about what a comprehensive platform such as ours provides, we have a hybrid client, we have APIs, so they can write apps in Xcode or in the Android kit and use our JavaScript API for web development tools. We have a strong integration story, we have MAM and MDM, and we have the enablement for reusability, and that'll greatly save them a lot of time and a lot of money.
So Dan, let's assume I need a platform.
Yeah.
Do I need a MEEP? Do I need a MADP? Do I need an MBAS? Do I need an IDE? I mean, this is crazy. The acronyms are just ridiculous.
It is. You have to get past the acronyms. There's hundreds of vendors building all kinds of solutions that map to these acronyms that the analysts have created, but you need to think about what you need to do. You got to build apps, you've got to integrate them to your enterprise systems, you got to offer some business services like in field service or CRM or SFA, and then you got to manage the whole thing. Those are the four essence of the things you need to do, but forget about the acronyms, focus on the functionality and what you're trying to achieve.
So one of the criticisms we get a lot in this market is that mobile projects are still professional services intensive. How do we solve this problem?
Well, traditionally that's definitely true. Projects have taken a long time. It takes months to build apps in some cases. But at Pega Systems, what we're doing is we're advocating model-driven development and the use of frameworks to build applications faster from templated apps that fit a vertical or a horizontal solution. And also, the project team has to design for reusability. It has to be baked into the project thinking and everything that they do.
What do you mean by reuse?
So when you think about project reuse, I consider adapters, authentication screens, application screens, code. The project has to be thinking about taking elements that are modular, saving them, and using them for multiple apps. In other words, integration to authentication backends, it's a common thing that all enterprise apps have to be able to do. You should be able to do that once and save it and use it for multiple apps.
So Dan, tell me, is cross-device development still important? And if so, do I need native? Do I need HTML5? Do I need web?
It's definitely still important, but it's just one way to go about building an application. You have native, you have web, you have hybrid technologies, but you need to stop for a second and think about what it is that you're trying to build, and then which technology suits the purpose the best. There are many options, and our platform, for example, provides APIs as well as a cross-development tool set. So if you think about what you're trying to do, if you use our platform, you have many options to go about achieving the result. But you really can choose the best technology for the job.
Okay, great. And so which devices are important?
Well, certainly smartphones and tablets, and some tablets are now being used in kiosks for some of our implementations. But really, there's only a few operating systems that matter today. There used to be 4. Some people argue now there's 3, but really iOS and Android are dominant.
So Dan, this is great advice so far. Let's assume that I choose the right platform, I build the apps that I want, I choose the right technology to build them. How do I then manage them? Do I need mobile device management? Do I need enterprise mobile management? Do I need mobile application management? Again, it's another alphabet soup.
It is another sea of acronyms, but you need to think past this again and look at what you're trying to achieve. You need to manage users, you need to manage apps, you need to manage devices. Now, you could also buy a point solution to do this from Mobile Iron or some other vendor, but the point is, why would you do that when you could buy all that capability into one platform? So our platform actually has MAM and MDM functionality built in, and we believe it's certainly sufficient for what most enterprises need to manage their apps and their users and devices and stay in compliance with corporate policies and governance.
That's fine, but what if you've already made an investment in MDM or MAM or Enterprise Mobile Management? Then what?
So you log into our Ant Manager, and you move to a page where there's a setting where you just turn off MDM in that domain that you're using. And it's as simple as that. And we can work with that vendor, by the way. Most of these vendors have APIs, and if we need to publish apps through their infrastructure, we can do that very easily.
So Dan, from what we've discussed, it sounds like CIOs need to consider a number of things: how to design, build, run, test, manage, and analyze the mobile applications that they build for their various constituents. Can you get this from all from one vendor?
Believe it or not, yes. I mean, you wouldn't think that a few years ago, but today there is a platform that we provide that provides all of those capabilities. We've been in this business for a long time. We've anticipated these needs, and we've baked all those capabilities into the platform. So you don't have to deal with multiple vendors and have multiple contracts and multiple procurement cycles and RFPs and manage contracts separately. You can actually, we provide from design to test to rollout all on the same platform.
So Dan, you've helped us clear a few things up, but if you were to leave me with 3 pearls of wisdom, let's say I'm the CIO, what 3 things are absolutely crucial in selecting the right technology for my business?
Sure. Number one, you've got to think beyond the IDE. It's not just the development platform you're going to use. You've got to think about all the other capabilities that the platform provides, from integration to management to a secure messaging layer to store and forward and persistence. Secondly, you've got to think about reusability more on your projects, and you've got to design for reuse when you're building projects and think about saving time so you actually build those projects more quickly. And finally, you've got to think about disconnected apps. Enterprise apps generally are going to be operating in basements and elevator shafts on airplanes and such. People need to operate with data locally on the device and run offline, and then when they're connected to a network again, send the data back to the backend system. So you've got to think about a disconnected app primarily.
So Dan, thank you very much for your time today. It's been enlightening. You've helped us really understand some of the complexities of enterprise mobility. Thank you very much, and thanks for watching.